This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
I've got a lot of grandbabies, like a lot. And when it comes to finding a gift for each of them, it could add up. But this year, while I was making my way through Walmart, I realized I don't have to spend a lot to get the gifts they'll love.
An OPI mini mani set! I'm gonna do so much nail art.
Oh yeah! A Lego set!
My own Awala water bottle!
Ooh, and that's just half of them.
Shop great gifts they're sure to love for $25 and under at Walmart.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to this Frosty Merry Christmas episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me as always is
Sesame, Frosty, and Carta.
And joining us today, we have a guest from Newrealms Media, our good friend Ryan Moore. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Ryan, for any of our fans that are just learning about you now.
Hi, I'm Ryan Moore. I've been here before. I made these two watch Christmas Vacation 2 last year and this year with Madam Web over at Spoiler. But in all seriousness, I'm a photographer. I'm also a video essayist over on YouTube at youtube.com/NewRealmsMedia. In fact, that's where you can find all my socials at Newrealms Media, including the incredibly wonderful Blue Sky. I just dropped 2 new videos, both for the Fat Slob on Silent Bob series I'm doing. One was Red State because I wanted to have that out before the election because of how chaotic it was. And then I dropped my second episode of the Criterion Collection with Dogma because without Dogma, there is no me. You wouldn't be hearing me on this microphone right now without Dogma. That's how important that film is to me.
So you didn't exist before that movie came out?
Not as a photographer or videographer or anything like that.
Okay.
I was 15, 16 years old at the time Dogma was released.
Yes. So yeah, while we're doing some plugs here, you can find us, go to all2real2.com. You can find all of our links there. We've got links. There's a link on there that says Twitter, but we no longer have Twitter. It goes right to the Cullen Park Blue Sky account. On the website that we have, they didn't have an option to put a Blue Sky up, so I just made the Twitter link go to that.
I did the exact same thing with my link tree.
Yeah. So fuck X or Twitter or Elon Musk or whatever the fuck he wants to call it. And so
I also cut ties with Twitter. Fuck 'em.
Yeah.
In fact, going forward, I'm calling it X. I don't even want to call it.
I've still, like I've said before, I think on the show, is I've never understood the rebranding of that as X. It's like Twitter was one of the most well-known brands in the world, and they just decided, hey, we're just going to name it after a letter randomly instead and just get rid of all of the good, sort of goodwill that they had with that name. And that'd be like, Coke just deciding, hey, we're going to be C now or whatever, it's like stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you can find us there. There's links to all of our stuff there, our Patreon and our TeePublic, ways to help the show. But anyways, today on the show, people, we are covering another holiday movie for this year. This time, a movie that when I first heard about, I thought it was a docudrama of the time that I accidentally put my Wendy's dessert in the microwave. Turns out it wasn't. It's a Netflix movie entitled Hot Frosty. This film came out in 2024, just a couple of weeks ago from when you're hearing this, because this is going to be out soon. It was directed by Jerry Chickaritti. I think that's how you say his name. Written by Russell Hainline, and the film stars Lacey Chabert, Dustin Milligan, Katie Mixon Greer, Lauren Holly, Craig Robinson, Joe Latrulio, and many others. So guys, initial thoughts on this film?
I didn't hate this. This wasn't a torture device.
Yes.
For the record, I low-key thought about asking you guys to do Red 1 with me, and then it was like, Hot Frosty, there we go. That's something that just screams stupid and insufferable. And then I'm watching it, and it's like, I may have low-key felt guilty for making you guys watch Madam Web earlier this year, because this movie actually isn't that bad.
No.
It's perfect. It's a very second screen, whereas Netflix's CEO is coming out and saying stuff like, our movies had to be second screen, like, you have to watch it in the back. This was literally the easiest movie I ever took notes on.
Yes, it's I enjoyed it. What did you think, Sesame?
No, I liked it. I thought it was a fun movie. And again, there's no Citizen Kane or anything, but I liked it. The only thing I didn't like was the whole the two cops seemed like they were trying too hard to be dorky and cool. It almost made me feel like secondhand embarrassment watching them. Of course, that could have been the intention of them too. I don't know.
I do feel that they didn't go far enough, or they went too far, one or the other. It was just they didn't play as well as they do in most things. I mean, you've got two people that were on Brooklyn Nine-Nine acting together that have been friends for years, I'm sure, and you think there would have been a little bit better chemistry and stuff, but we can get more to that later. But yeah, I mean, Craig Robinson and Joe Latrulio are two comic legends in my opinion, but still it's
I felt they were kind of underutilized. Like they were very stock characters, just essentially playing their personas. Down to having Craig Robinson make up songs on this tinny little keyboard he has.
Yeah. Oh boy. So
he used to, back in the day, he used to do these little songs, but those songs were actually way funnier than the song he was playing here. So it kind of pissed me off a little bit, because I used to watch him play on Bill Maher's show back when Bill Maher's show was terrible. I guess it was terrible, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. And he would these little kind of songs and stuff. So I was kind of hoping he'd do that here, but it was just this bland, something Crime in Blank Springs or whatever the town was called. I don't remember.
Hope Springs.
Yeah, Hope Springs. Yeah. And I don't know, just that kind of bugged me a little bit. I don't know. For some reason, I cringe at certain things. And that was one of those things that I just didn't like very much.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it kind of stops the movie dead too.
Yeah.
Just like a musical number in Joker Folie à Deux.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually enjoyed Joker, but that's Joker Folie à Deux.
I fucking love the first Joker. I had a spoiler alert planned for Megalopolis and Joker, and neither of the audio came out right. The Fates did not want me to do a full spoiler alert on Megalopolis, because one, the power went out when I went to go see Megalopolis in Ann Arbor, and I did a double bill with that, and Paul McCartney's One Clap. If the power went out during One Hand Clapping, I would have been pissed. And then it's okay, good. Okay, I can just go to Toledo, watch Megalopolis the next. Bedridden sick for 3 fucking days. The Fates did not want me to watch Megalopolis. And then 3 days later, I finished Megalopolis, and it's 45 plus years of pop thoughts, all right.
Yeah, I had no desire to see it. I didn't watch it just because I don't know. I've got some issues with the director, so I'm just But
so go back to the club. Actual line in that movie said by Adam Driver.
So
and he says it to a black woman too.
Can't be any worse than the dialogue in this movie. But yeah, the
No, this is Shakespeare compared to Megalopolis.
So we've got what's going on here in this movie that we want to talk about. Do we want to do you guys want to feel like breaking it down, or do you want to just talk about what we liked and didn't like about it?
Let's do a little column A, column B.
Okay, cool. So what goes down in this movie? Like what's happening here?
Okay, so apparently Lacey Chabert is living in a shithole house. She's pouring rainwater into a sink, and we really don't know about why this is until later in the film. When we get to that, we'll get to that. Yeah. And yet she's busy businesswoman from Family Guy running this hip and happening little cafe in a small town.
Yep. And she and like everybody in town knows her and loves her. So it's like, Yeah.
And the film starts off with slightly the effect of this, but loosely paraphrasing here, kind of like the effect. This isn't your grandpa's Frosty the Snowman. Like that kind of like little narration where he's basically saying something to that effect.
Yeah, it's interesting.
This is from the director of Graveyard Ship, by the way.
I still can't believe that. But yeah, people direct different types of movies.
Yeah.
So, we've got these, people all loving her and everything, and then so she's we know she's single, but we don't know why at first. She goes to this couple that run like a, I don't know, like a secondhand clothing store or something.
Yeah, it was a thrift store to me. That's why I put that in my notes.
Yeah, and they tell us the lady that runs the place tells a story about how she met her husband, the other guy that runs the place, about how, something about a scarf and all this other stuff. I don't even what happened with the scarf. Like her story was like that the scarf blew towards her husband or something, and then that
Yeah.
It
was something to that effect.
Yeah,
like
and so,
blah blah blah, Hallmark holiday movie. Okay, let's go.
she says, "Oh, this like red scarf came in today. I think it's gonna give you good luck." And so she gives it to, what's her name, Kathy.
Kathy, Lacey Chabert's character.
Yeah, and gives it to her. Lacey Chabert, who, by the way, Hallmark doesn't want to cast anymore because they think she's too old. Oh, come on.
She looks fine as fuck in this movie.
I know.
Especially when we get to like the third act, she's all that style reveal of her.
Yeah, I read an article recently where they were listing like different actors that they want to try to phase out of Hallmark movies, and she was listed as one of them for being too old. And I'm like, she was born in 1985. Like, what the
fucking how? And The Substance is one of my favorite films of the year because Demi Moore is playing a 50-year-old who is in real life she's 62.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that she can pass for 50 in that movie and still look kind like that and get fired? Like,
well, it's like Sesame shared a meme with me the other day that was a serious meme that somebody posted about how Marissa Tomei is like fine as fuck at 60, and then underneath it there was some like incel type person that says that people that think that she's sexy is worse than people that are sexual
pedophiles.
Yes, pedophiles.
Yeah, I saw that meme. I was like,
yes.
No, reevaluate your heterosexuality, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, we also live in a world where Nick Fuentes says that if you're friends with your wife, you're gay.
Okay.
Oh my God. Nick Fuentes needs to just reevaluate his sexuality in general.
Yes.
That's why I made Ian the Incel a very closeted homosexual on my YouTube channel.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it just worries me that when people think that somebody like Lacey Chabert is too old, or that it's worse to think that Marissa Tomei is hot than to be a pedophile. Yeah, so anyways,
it's total fascist like philosophy though. Like there were like, even among the Nazi, like the OG Nazis, like not the new ones, like some of them got to the point where they were like so hypercharged with masculinity that they actually came to the point where it's like, yeah, we should just have sex with other dudes because like we don't want to be like tainted by femininity. It's like, wait, what? It's just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's just funny to me that the same people trying to ban transgender people from bathrooms think that it's gay to be friends with your wife. But yeah, anyway, so
these are no hot Frosties. They're not our hot Frosty guy.
Fuentes is not a hot Frosty. Speaking of hot Frosty, so Kathy gets this nice gift, this nice sentimental gift with like kind of a meaning about like, it's gonna open up things in your life. But the one thing that is said to her by the lady is that good things come to you when you're out in the cold.
Right.
What
Setting
does
up
that
a
mean?
premise like what?
She said it like it was like, like some kind of like famous, quote in history, like, don't eat yellow snow or whatever, it was just like, what the
Like, what the hell, man? I don't know.
That sounds like something Joe from Loquisha would say and pass off as advice.
Yeah, it's like, but yeah, so I would, after I watched the movie though, it's kind of chilly here, so I went outside and waited for about a half hour, and then my lips started to, frost over and stuff. So nothing good happened. No, I waited there. I was hoping that maybe a hot female Frosty would come my way.
Yeah.
Well,
preferably
there was no ice
Frosty that
one.
looks like Cindy Sweetie.
Yeah, or like somebody could like build a snowman that looks like a big pile of money that comes to life and just have that. Anyway, so anyway, she leaves the place with the scarf, and there's like this big sculpture, not ice sculpture, but like
it's like the most well-crafted snowman you will ever see.
Yeah, and that so she walks up, and there's like all these like sculptures and stuff, and then this one looks like, like, I don't know, Michelangelo's David or whatever.
Against two other stock cliched snowman.
Yeah, and so my question is, who made the snowman? We never find out.
Yeah,
who
that's a good point. Yeah,
we really don't.
No, we don't.
So she sits there, and so she just got this gift from her friend, a sentimental gift, and instead of like, taking it home with her or anything, she just puts it on a random snow sculpture.
Yeah,
I know. That's the first thing I mentioned. I thought of him like, you just gave that away like 2 hours after it was given to you.
Yeah, I'd be super pissed if I saw that on some unusually nice looking snowman.
And it's on the same street as the store, like right in front of it.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That ends up becoming the titular Hot Frost.
Yeah, Yeah, what happens then, guys? One of you guys want to take over here?
I gotcha.
Yeah.
What the best After Effects money can buy, Hot Frosty comes to life to the tune of a Sugar Plum Fairy Trap remake that I would use as a bumper if I did like the top 10 Christmas classics ever.
Yeah.
That you could easily find on YouTube. Oh, I could probably type in Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy Trap remix and find it right there on YouTube.
So, yeah. I wonder who they paid to do the music in this movie. But anyway, so...
And it comes out of fucking nowhere, too. Like, you're hearing, like, your usual twee, Hallmark, type music, and then all of a sudden you hear this Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy Trap remix happen.
It's like, a lot of the music in this is very overbearing. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
And then Hot Frosty breaks into the old lady's shop unintentionally.
After streaking through the town in front of an old couple. I'm just curious, did they sculpt his nether regions?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the questions I had too. Like, how do they fuck?
Yeah, the snowman and enemy wasn't really explained very well in this movie. They didn't really go in depth into it.
No.
Because my main thought about this is that this is in the middle of like town square, and if they did sculpt his junk, there's like kids walking around.
This doesn't seem like the town that would take kindly to this, especially given how Craig Robinson's character is characterized.
Yeah, like ultra conservative cop.
Hell, I'm legit surprised Craig Robinson let the unusually sculpted snowman fly.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh boy, but yeah,
it's weird.
I mean, we on All Too Real 2 have a history here of doing around Christmas time movies about snowmen that come to life. Last year we did Jack Frost with Mike.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I kind of wonder what the alternate scenario was if Kathy put it on one of the stock snowmen. Would it just be like some fat, ugly motherfucker?
It would be Michael Keaton from Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been,
or the horror Jack Frost movie.
Yeah, I should low key make that a double feature.
Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, then we have so he comes to life, and like you were saying, he crashes through the window that seems to be made of the cheapest glass ever.
Figure they would have had more of a glass budget, but at the same time, they're in a tiny suburb, in which probably the only black people there are Craig Robinson and that one kid later in the film.
Yeah, who we find out is his son. But yeah,
That's right. Big
Spoiler
reveal.
alert.
yes, I'm giving it to people because I'm assuming you watched this movie if you're listening. So,
All
I
right.
think so. But yeah, what happens then, guys?
So Kathy ends up inviting Hot Frosty to this tour diner, and he's like eating jelly for some reason.
Yeah, she finds him sitting there talking to the other snowmen.
Yeah, that was it. I had that in my notes too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know about you, but if I was walking down, like I live on Main Street in the town I live in, and if I was just walking down Main Street and I saw some random person sitting there talking to snowmen, I don't think I'd invite them anywhere.
Yeah, if it were my fat, ugly ass, I'd be arrested.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? But those were his brothers, right? Because he was like so happy that he came to life. He specifically said, if it can happen to me, it could happen to you. So he was like rooting for them. Like someone might get you to life. Like, you know,
we're setting up the sequel for next year.
Yes, we.
Beer belly Frosty. It'll be like, you know,
and there's a bizarre love triangle between the three of them.
Oh God.
Yes. All right. So Hot Frosty decides to go by Jack.
Yeah, because because he's Jack Frost. But also no, in the credits on IMDb, he's listed as Jack Snowman.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, and the whole thing, it's like he had one of the shirt that he stole from the place had a name tag on it that said Jack, so that's why they
Yeah.
And then Kathy puts two and two together and realizes he is Hot Frost.
Yeah, takes him to her doctor friend Dottie,
played by Hell or High Water's Katie Nixon of all people.
I know.
Yeah,
and she just buys into it, like, yeah. You know, after trying to get his temperature and it's like coming back negative 30 degrees.
Yeah. With 2 thermometers. It's like, oh, well, 2 thermometers said so. So I guess we believe in the existence of snowmen now. For some reason.
Well, you see that proves to me why people in the real world were able to believe that the vaccines didn't work.
Earlier today when I was driving, I was listening to one of my favorite YouTubers, the Birdman, dunk on flat earthers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you guys the link in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. It is so fucking hysterical. Just how stupid this flat earther is. He's like mispronouncing words and shit. He's like, and this is not a guy I could sit down and listen to for like 2 minutes, much less in like the 2-hour plus video that video more than likely is.
Yeah.
Because he sounds like this. He sounds like a dumb guy who thinks he's smart.
Yeah, like a Joe Rogan.
No. Joe Rogan is Einstein compared to this dude. And he's so hell-bent on thinking he's right. He's Dunninger persona. I'm going to send you guys the link to it.
I got in an argument today with somebody who was saying that Zachary Levi is brave because he tried to say that Broadway star Gavin Creel, who's from the town I live in, who died of cancer, may have died because he got a vaccine shot.
Oh,
wow!
Like he was in a play with him years ago on Broadway, a musical, and he was supposedly friends with Gavin, and he like right after Gavin dies, he starts spreading he probably died because of the COVID vaccine.
I did Shazam Fury of the Gods as a spoiler alert, as a low-key excuse to talk about the Instagram live meltdown he had.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the very moment where you know that's a career end.
Yeah.
You just watch somebody's career end in real time. When he's like, no, you can go see Shazam Fury of the Gods, or you can go see John Wick 4. Of the two, I'd rather go see John Wick 4. I've seen both movies. We talked for 20 minutes about Shazam Fury of the Gods, and we talked for like 35 about John Wick 4.
It just bothers me because I love the show Chuck, and it really bothers me that he starred in it, and so did Adam Baldwin, who are both Trump supporting assholes. So
Yeah. And it's just like, and I just watched Harold and the Purple Crayon too. Oh my God. It's that Instagram live meltdown, but it's a kid's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is complete, total manic energy. Please watch my movie. This is my last shot throughout the entire fucking movie.
I was actually planning to suggest that as a future episode of this show, so we might cover it.
Yeah.
It looks so bad.
It's a movie that stops dead for a cynical Ollie's commercial that is shot in like the nicest fucking Ollie's in the world. If you've ever been to an Ollie's, it is one of the most disorganized fucking stores you will ever be in.
So,
And I thought Ollie's was just like a Toledo only thing at the time until I saw it in Harold and the Purple Crayon. And I'm like, this is a national chain?
Yeah, it's a national.
So why the fuck do both of my Ollie's in Toledo look like they're in a third world country?
Because Toledo.
Yeah.
It is. No, I'm joking. It's a third world country, all of its own. No, parts of it at least. But yeah, back to our attractive Frosty here. Again, I'm just curious if the scarf would work on any of them. Like we've said before, I just don't understand. So yeah, like I think there was like a sculpture of a dinosaur. If she would have put that on the dinosaur.
Are we going to get a Tammy and the T-Rex situation?
What I'm saying.
And so he is like two creators, I guess, because the guy or the person who sculpted him is a creator. And then she put the scarf around him, which brought him to life. So he has like gods, essentially, is who created him, which complicates matters because they didn't fall in love, but she's kind of his mom a little bit because she created him. So it's like, and like he even kind of acts like a child at first. Like he's like his mouth is like wide open every time you see something for the first time, and it's like you're about to bone this dude later. Like what's going on? Like
that dynamic was like a little creepy because like Dustin Milligan, who is actually really good in this movie, I hope to see him in more things.
I think he's. It sounds really weird, but he reminds me of like a young Dick Van Dyke.
I could kind of see that.
Yeah, I mean not totally, but he kind of just has like that good comic timing. Yeah. So yeah.
And also Lacey Chabert is really good in this too.
Oh yeah.
Like they do have genuinely good chemistry together. Like hell, I would have rather seen Dustin Milligan in Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Oh yeah.
He was doing the man-child shtick way better in Hot Frosty than Zachary Levi was in Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Yeah. So what happens here next?
And Jack wants to stay with Kathy, and then we have Lindsay Lohan on the TV for some reason.
She's in a it's a scene from Falling for Christmas, which is a 2022 Netflix Christmas movie.
Yeah. Netflix wants that sweet Hallmark money.
And then
totally.
And she's like, that looks like a girl I went to high school with.
I get jokes.
Yeah.
And then Jack keeps saying to Kathy that he loves her, and Kathy keeps rejecting him.
Yeah.
And he's like 2 days old at this point. Which goes back to what we were just talking about with this confusing dynamic these two have.
Yeah, it's like I was looking up this idea because I was trying to figure out what this reminded me of. It's kind of like in a way like Splash in a way.
Yeah.
First, or movies like that. And I guess there's a trope in Hollywood. What this is called is the Born Sexy Yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had never heard of that trope until today. So I was like, wondering.
And then because a good movie is coming out this year, we have to be reminded that Nosferatu is coming out later this month. And we see Jack making a cross at Nosferatu on TV.
Yeah, with the original Nosferatu.
Yeah, it's the original Nosferatu, which apparently is a bitch to find.
No, it's everywhere.
Yeah, because most of the time I find like the colorized version.
Yeah.
And it's usually a shitty job of it because my goal this month is to watch all 3 Nosferatu movies to prepare for my spoiler alert episode on it.
I have the original on like 3 DVDs. different
right.
Love it on DVD. So yeah. It's kind of hard to find streaming, I think, but it's probably on YouTube somewhere because it's public domain. So yeah. That's why they used it in the movie because they didn't have to pay for it.
There you go.
Same reason when I directed the film Pi Day Die Day, starring the late Mark Klein, who there will be a link in the show notes to donate to help fund his funeral, help his family out. He's a Toledo acting legend. Died recently at the age of 51. But anyways, in that movie we used Night of the Living Dead in there because it was public domain, so we could have the people watching that on TV. So
yeah. Oh god, that's gonna be an awkward segue.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that because it reminded me. I was like, when did I do that? I did that once before. But yeah, but back to the movie. Yeah, we're good. Mark would enjoy that segue. So
wow.
Mark would hop on a segue to make that segue. So I
only met him once, like on the set, obviously.
Yeah.
But like when I went to the premiere of Pi Day Die Day,
yeah,
like he like recognized me right away and was like acting like we were like best friends. And it was just like I
same
literally
with
had
me
like
in A Story Worth Living.
It was just like
because
and like I sit there felt like I was famous all of a sudden. I'm like, this guy knows who I am. Like
yeah. I've hung out with him a few times. Super awesome dude. Like I dedicated my recent spoiler alert episode to him. So let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Jack finds out that Kathy's husband died of cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that's an interesting segue. Yeah. So yeah.
That's why I was like, oh shit. When I was just looking at my notes.
Mark was a cancer survivor, but I don't think cancer is what actually ultimately. Yeah. But anyway, so he finds out the thing. I have a lot of questions here. He was just born. He knows how to read.
Apparently, he learned everything from watching TV. So he probably more than likely stumbled upon a few episodes of Sesame Street.
I think he had some inbuilt knowledge because he knew how to talk when he first.
He could automatically,
some things he already kind of have like built in.
I guess I shouldn't be questioning these things because he's a fucking snowman who came to life.
You're asking for logic in a Netflix knockoff Hallmark holiday movie.
Right. I mean, we're still trying to figure out how they made his junk, if they had it on full display, or maybe if they hid it or something like that with like a wreath, or I don't know, or something like.
Did it grow when he became human? I don't know.
Or are we going full Metatron with this shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Full $10.
It's totally smooth down there. The rest of their relationship is just really awkward. She's like, yeah. Anyways, so we find out that Kathy's husband died of cancer, and he was like a home repair guy. So yeah, Hot Frosty decides that he watches like a couple like videos or TV shows about home repair, and all of a sudden he can fix everything because he's a fast learner.
Yeah, and he has the mentality of a 3-year-old. Keep this in mind. Like,
I know. Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out did he get permits to do this? Did he?
No,
you can't
just did it.
You can't just start redoing somebody's roof without the city knowing.
Especially given Sheriff Craig Robinson is looking for your ass.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
So yeah, he's out there fixing the roof at one time, and then we have Lauren Holly as a cougar who comes driving by
and crashes
because she sees him up on the roof where he's fixing the roof, mind you, without his shirt on because he's getting hot. So it's because he's hot. Yeah.
And then Jack offers to push her car, and then we hear porno music playing over it.
Oh yeah,
it's like right. He says, "Do you want me to get behind you and push?"
Oh right, yeah.
It was very double entendres there. Yeah.
And of course, the old lady wants to hit it.
Yeah, and she's like, "I want to take you home." Yeah, I'm definitely taking you home with me. And then she goes to her house, and there's like this whole gaggle of older cougar ladies. I don't know if cougars are in a gaggle, but I don't know what the
yeah
a pack. I don't know what they would be.
Pack of cougars would probably be the right terminology.
Yeah, they're all there, and he's like fixing stuff around her house, and then the one woman says like she's like on the board at the middle school or something, and they need somebody to help around the school. Yeah, this guy has no background, no history, and they're gonna let him work around children.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, it's like a small town, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
And then Jack asks for a ride, and all the old ladies like jump to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he doesn't really know what sex is, so he's like innocent because again, he's like a 3-year-old. So
he was born sexy yesterday. Yep. That's what I'm going to say to everybody whenever I meet anybody. I was born yesterday.
Born sexy yesterday. Yeah.
That's something to put on a shirt, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, you should wear a shirt that says that. Yeah, but
maybe we'll put one up on our TeePublic.
Yes, don't harass. Yeah, I'm sorry, not don't harass. I was thinking of What About Bob for a second because at one point he wears a T-shirt that says "Don't hassle me, I'm local." Like I want that shirt so bad.
Yes.
So what goes on next here, guys?
Kat now wants Jack to lay low, but Jack wants to help people. And then all of a sudden, Kathy notices things in her house are getting fixed. Like the roof is fixed, the stair step is fixed. And because we need to be reminded of another good movie, Jennifer Coolidge is playing Discount Glinda on TV. It's like Netflix is low key being stealth advertising for Universal Pictures.
What was that?
Yeah.
Was that a clip from an actual movie?
I don't know. Because Jennifer Coolidge comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm not totally up on my Jennifer Coolidge filmography, so I don't know what that would have been from. So yeah.
But it's like you have Jennifer Coolidge playing Discount Glinda, the Good Witch, on TV, and it kind of feels like Netflix is low key being Universal's marketing campaign.
Yeah, it's
because we see both Nosferatu and Wicked. Both of which are coming out through Universal.
Wow.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I wonder what that was. Yeah.
It could have just been like a clip that was just made for the movie itself. You know what I mean?
I don't know that I mean I'm just seriously thinking it would cost a lot to get Jennifer Coolidge to do that. I don't know. But
yeah. But there is a positive. There are some positives with this movie. Like, there's actually a really great scene involving Kathy and Jack as Kathy's opening up about her depression upon losing her husband.
Yeah.
And Jack is actually intently listening to her. And then Jack is dispensing like some fortune cookie level advice. And then she says something to the effect of, "I'm getting grief counseling from a snowman."
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of rude.
But it's true. It's like, yeah, but it is like, it's funny how sometimes it's like people that just that have no experience in something. Sometimes in these movies and stuff can give you like better advice than somebody that has experience.
Yeah.
And it's a shockingly well acted scene.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, Dustin Milligan is a good actor, I think, and so is she. So yeah, so is Lacey Chabert. So it works.
Yeah, and then Jack ends up confessing to breaking the glass of the thrift shop and offers to fix it to Jolo Trulio.
Oh. Yeah, and when he confesses to the people at the shop, they're like, "It's okay, it's Christmas time."
Right, like whatever.
So basically, you can commit any crimes in this town as long as it's Christmas time.
Yeah. Without like the sheriff knowing about it, like the townsfolk won't like they'll care if you if you do anything wrong, he'll write you like a ticket for it.
Break our window and rob us, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
At one point they were going to offer to buy him breakfast and he's like, no, because it will like conflict with my investigation. I'm like, oh my god, dude, like
And then Jolo Trulio shows Cappy a wanted poster of him, and Cappy offers him a free meal of soup. He's trying to distract him.
Yeah. I love Joe Latrulio, but he was underutilized in this movie, but he was still, I think he was utilized better than Craig Robinson, though. So that's just,
wow. Bit.
And then Jack notices this black kid who is Craig Robinson's son in the film, asking this white girl out.
Yeah, and that gives him the idea that for this, because there's a dance coming up at the middle school. And that's another thing. They're going to let him chaperone this dance.
Yes. This guy who has only been alive for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. He has no records, like nothing. And at one point, I that's why I put this in my name, because when they're at the dad's and he's talking to the boy that he was overhearing asking the girl out, he's like, "Oh yeah, my date's over there, the adult." Like what?
And I'm like, good. That's good to know. We're good.
That's good. Yes.
But then again, because he's like 5 years old mentality, so he's being like, yeah, whatever. He's clarifying.
But according to that meme, I think maybe it's worse to like Lacey Chabert. Wait, never mind.
Right. Exactly. That's what that guy said. I mean, so it must be true if it's on Twitter.
Yes.
X or whatever.
Everything on Twitter is true. That's what free speech is all about. Wait.
Yes.
Unless telling the truth, unless it's saying something about, people dying in Gaza or the COVID vaccine, then it's not true, I guess. So yeah.
No. You know what kind of like really like this guy is like such like a good guy, and it's like, yeah, it's because he's like 3 days old and stuff. Like he's not jaded by life and reality. But like as I was watching this, I'm like, this is like a really good guy. And then I remembered, because I had blocked it out of my memory for the past week because it was raising my blood pressure too much and getting me too angry, of how this woman was like absolutely harassed because she wrote a PhD that a lot of guys didn't like. And they were like telling her to like kill herself and threatening to rape her over it. And I'm like, we can use some more hot Frosties in our world, I think.
Yeah.
So it just gives you the idea that basically the only good men in the world, and I am a man speaking of this, are people that were born 3 days ago. So
yes. Yeah.
No.
And then you have Craig Robinson still on the tear for Jack. And he's doing like the CSI Miami shtick in a movie released in 2024.
And it's
so dumb.
Yeah, and at the dance though, there is a scene where they almost kiss.
Yeah.
But he pulls back because he doesn't want to hurt her because he doesn't know how long he's going to be around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also a really good scene too.
Yeah.
And earlier they were doing the shopping montage to Pretty Woman, right down to Kathy doing the Richard Gere box clothes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Funny. Yeah.
Yepper.
But so then what happens? I'm trying to remember.
All right. So we've already covered that. I don't think we even brought up Kathy in the red dress.
Oh yeah. No, she was beautiful.
And Hallmark wants to phase her out.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Yep.
I had the same reaction too, Jack. And then Jack shows Kathy a diamond snowflake necklace, which he bought with her money.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I forgot about that. He kept buying shit with her credit card.
Yeah. There's actually so this I looked up the article here about it. It came out in October of this year. Hallmark accused of trying to replace top stars Lacey Chabert, Holly Robinson Peete as they get older in new age discrimination lawsuit. So there's a lawsuit going on, I guess, from Lacey Chabert and Holly Robinson Peete. And Holly Robinson Peete is still beautiful too. So I don't know, but whatever. I mean, she's older than Lacey Chabert, but she's still not old. So it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, while all this is going on, there's like a very choreographed dance, which comes on nowhere. And then Kathy notices Jack is wet, like he's about to melt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that's the time you don't want your date getting wet. Anyway, so
oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that's the whole thing too with this movie. He keeps getting hot, like when he's in the diner, or when it's like he's inside the house, he like has to like eat ice cubes to stay cool. And so they were doing that throughout the whole movie of like setting up a time where he's basically gonna like die from melting. But he doesn't, don't worry.
There is a good line though from that where he tells Sheriff Craig Robinson, "Because I like to eat the ice, Sheriff."
Yeah.
So I mean, something I learned too, talking about Dustin Milligan, I guess he was cast last minute for this movie.
Oh, wow.
Like he didn't have much time to prepare for it.
And he's actually excellent in this.
Yeah. They like offered.
I wouldn't have guessed.
They offered it to him last minute. I guess, I don't know if there was somebody else cast in the role or what it was, but he had like hardly any time to prepare. So, yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed.
No. But yeah, so we've got the basically what happened. I mean, so they got the dance, and then what happens after the dance?
Kathy ends up holding her big party at the diner, and Craig Robinson bursts in and arrests him for streaking.
Yeah, and everybody in the town stands up for him, and then this random extra, says, because it's Christmas.
And Jack ends up accepting his arrest.
Takes responsibility for what he did, so he's understandable.
Even though he was like a minute old at the time and didn't understand the concept of money and or theft. So technically, they could like plead insanity or something like that and give him like a lighter sentence. And but oh, God, I was going to say something. I forgot what it was. Oh, carry on. I'll think of it later.
And then the Sheriff Craig Robinson tries to fingerprint him, but he can't. And not only that, he does not want to release him until the 26th.
Yeah. Keep him. He wants to keep him in the jail like over the weekend, basically. So he.
But there is one thing I do like about Craig Robinson: his delivery of the words "to grand bail.
Yeah, and it's like they want to. They basically he won't turn down the heat in the place either. So Jack starts to get all sweaty and melty.
And then Kathy decides to go bail him out and realizes she doesn't have enough money to do so, and yet she's running the hippest, happeningest diner in town.
But the thing is, though, I feel bad for her employees because she just took all the money from the diner or whatever.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my god.
And then they start passing a hat around to all the townspeople to collect the balance of what is owed there.
Yeah.
And and so that's the other thing too. All these people are giving their last bit of money, so any last minute Christmas presents can't be bought, and yep, all for this one guy that's been alive for 3 days. Come on, people. I'm joking.
But everyone loves him because he's such a nice guy. I remember what I was going to say now. So, like, this dude, like Craig Robinson character, if he lived like in a bigger city, he could have been like a really good detective because he like notices everything. So the reason how he was able to know that he was streaking is because he saw an ATM machine. He's like, oh, this probably has a camera on it. And so somehow he got like a subpoena of the bank and all this time or whatever to see him streaking from the ATM camera. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this guy's talent is wasted in this small town. He should be like in New York or something, like, solving cases.
Like doing his own little spin-off movie.
He should be. Maybe he should transfer to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Wait.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
That reminds me, like, I just saw this new show with Ted Danson. Called like A Man on the Inside. When I logged on to Netflix, I'm like, why the fuck didn't I hear of this?
This
sounds interesting.
I'm gonna check that out. I heard it's really good. And then speaking of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, is what's her face is in it?
It's Stephanie Beatriz.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to see her in other roles and not doing the Rosa voice because her real voice is pretty high pitched. So it's like,
yeah, and it's just so weird yet awesome to see her smile.
Yeah.
All right. So Jack is melting and unconscious now, and then they carry him out to the snow. And then Kathy kisses Jack, and Jack has risen.
Yes, and this was all after the sheriff's kid convinced him that he needs to let him go. So
yeah,
and so he Jack has risen, much like Jesus, and
and Jack is now human.
We still haven't figured out if little Jack can rise, though. But
yeah.
So So then then we cut to like them on Christmas morning, and now he's like, he starts freezing because he's now human. He doesn't melt and everything. Now he's actually human. So we cut to the Christmas day, and then we find out that they're going to go to Hawaii. Oh yeah,
and he ends up fixing the thermostat.
Yeah, but during this whole time, though, by the way, like the window and everything else that he's been buying, he's been paying for this shit with Kathy's credit card on the computer without her knowing. So it's identity theft too. And
he didn't know any of this stuff. So he's like, "Hey, I think it was some giveaway." Like.
My thing is why doesn't Kathy have her computer more secure? But anyways, and why I don't know. Why is it so easy to get a credit card? Usually you have to things, but I guess I don't know. I guess if you go right on my computer and my password, you could go right into Amazon and buy shit. So anyways,
roll the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Oh right. Yeah.
But
the fake blooper reel.
Yeah, some of it was real bloopers. But I have a question here before we get to that. So they're going to go to Hawaii. He has no background. I doubt he has any kind of IDs.
Right.
How does he get a plane ticket?
Well, right. What do you do if somebody just becomes human? Like, there's no precedent for that. It's like
I'm pretty sure
born.
You can't drive to Hawaii.
No, you can't.
And, so technically now he's not legally here. And so he's an immigrant. So I'm really worried about what he's going to do to him.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
It's just, I'm really worried.
He's white. He'll be fine.
Oh yeah, he's white. He's not,
he's a Frosty.
He's not a Hispanic or black immigrant. So it doesn't matter. So
all he's just got to do is say MAGA and he's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's already got the red scarf. He just maybe just like sews on a Trump patch and we're all good. So
give him a hat, or even a red hat. Just, to make it more subtle, I guess you can call it subtle. That reminds me, I don't know why I just thought about this, but like where my brother used to work, like the workers were like hating each other because like half of them were like Democrats and the other were Republicans. And so like they were like wearing like Democrat apparel and the other ones are wearing Republicans. So they're like, all right, you guys can't wear like stuff like that. And so then like the Trump supporters just started wearing red hats without it saying MAGA. Then the Democrats were wearing blue hats. I'm like, oh my God, guys.
Oh, wow.
That reminds me, based on the same colors, that there was a time when I was in grade school where they actually wouldn't let us wear red or blue because of the Bloods and the Crips, because they thought that they were really big in my Catholic school in Ohio.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh God.
Whatever. So yeah, and any other thoughts here about this movie, guys?
This was actually a solid movie. I didn't hate this.
Yeah, I actually think I would watch it again.
Like,
yeah, probably
put it on.
I didn't hate myself watching this movie.
Yeah, I mean it's no Christmas Vacation 2 or Jingle All the Way 2 or Jack Frost or anything, but it's
it's very much a Netflix Hallmark holiday movie.
Yeah.
It is tailor-made to be watched while you're scrolling on your phone.
Yes.
Just the way Netflix wants it.
And it's one of those movies that you shouldn't think too much about, like I did. But
like we all did.
Like how we're trying to figure out how
3 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
What was that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can go ahead, Ryan.
All right. I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd because
nice.
It's perfectly fun. Like I didn't it's well made, it's well acted. I didn't hate myself watching this. I'd like to see more Dustin Milligan.
Yeah, I hope I wonder if he's gonna be in anything else. I mean, I know he had like a recurring role on Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
And Rutherford Falls. He was in the movie Extract back in the day with the Mike Judge movie.
Yeah.
Wait, was he the veterinarian in Schitt's Creek?
I haven't seen Schitt's Creek all the way through, so I don't know. He played a character named Ted Mullins, according to
that's the vet.
The
vet. Okay.
That was him.
All right.
And he's got he's doing like a voice on some animated thing or something coming up, and that's it. That's all he's got listed on his upcoming credits. So I really hope he does more. But he's got like 69 acting credits. So
it's a movie that knows what it is and is unapologetic about it.
Yeah,
it never felt like I was sitting there like, oh my God, why am I watching this? Like something like Unfrosted, which is also on Netflix.
Okay.
In which they the cereal mascots reenact January 6th for some reason.
Yeah.
Yes. This is a scene that exists.
Yep, it's okay. Mr. I was funny in the 90s and haven't been funny since. Yeah.
And even that, I think it's safe to say Larry David carried the show and the cast.
Yeah.
My least favorite character on Seinfeld was Jerry.
Oh yeah. He's the worst character on that show. He's such a smug asshole, basically, on that show.
Yeah, that show, I know. He's like, he thinks he's better than everyone else. Oh, Unfrosted. That's the one with Jerry Seinfeld. No, okay. Yeah. Now I understand. I was like, why are you guys talking about Seinfeld? It's like,
Mr. Zionist. Anyway, so
I was gonna say something I forgot. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say I hope they make Christmas Vacation 3, but this time it's just like Randy Quaid on the run because he thinks like someone's trying to assassinate him. So it's just like him and his wife, like Siberia, like holding up.
Find like the most F-list cast member of Christmas Vacation he could hang out with.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's Eric Idle doing? Or
we can get
maybe Kevin Sorbo.
Oh God!
I really want to see a disaster movie with Kevin Sorbo, Scott Baio, Dean Cain, Zach Levi, just all in a room and they all blow up. Anyway, so not in reality.
Wow.
Not in reality.
Yes.
No, not reality.
I'm not seen to do that. But yeah. When Scott Baio, after the election, he went and made a video where he was just a complete asshole about, it's like, he won, blah, 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 and then going to everybody and everything. So it was like, yeah.
Okay. Bro, you were on the surreal life. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, speaking of that looks like what the cabinet's going to be. Anyway, so
I think it's safe to say we can end this.
Yeah. So anyways,
Yeah.
I think we're good here. Where can people find you again, Ryan?
You can find me across all social media at Newrealms Media. And I also have on my YouTube page my podcast, spoiler alert. I recently did Wicked, Gladiator 2 and Wicked, which I spent 35 minutes talking about Wicked and like less than 20 talking about Gladiator 2.
And Wicked is really good, folks. Go see it. Anyway,
yeah, I really loved Wicked.
I did too. I want to watch it again. Be sure to check out all that stuff. Go to newrealmsmedia.com and check out anything for Ryan. You can check us out at all2real2.com. Spread the word about our show, just, on social media, walking down the street, if you, see a snowman, maybe whisper it in his ear and maybe he'll come to life and then, promote our show to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know if that's how that works. But anyways, folks, just remember that I love you. Sesame loves you. Ryan, do you love our fans?
I love all you guys.
Yes.
All right.
Be kind to each other this holiday season and the rest of the year. Trans lives are human lives. Free Palestine. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.